You know those gardens you see that just feel like they've jumped straight out of a fairy tale? That charming, almost wild explosion of flowers and life? Well, that's the English cottage garden. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what makes this timeless style so incredibly magical.
Okay, let's just start here, because this quote, it absolutely nails it. A cottage garden isn't about following a bunch of strict rules or making everything perfectly symmetrical. Nope, it's all about creating a feeling, this sense of romantic, natural abundance, a space that feels personal and just joyfully alive.
So what is this design disorder I'm talking about? To really get it, we actually have to take a look back in time, because this style didn't start out as a design choice at all. It was born from pure, simple necessity. It's fascinating, right? The whole point of this garden style completely flipped. It started out back in the 18th century as these really practical, functional plots for peasants. I mean, they were packed with vegetables, herbs for medicine, maybe a spot for some livestock. But then the British upper class looked at this rustic charm, kind of fell in love with it, and completely romanticized it into the flower-filled, whimsical look we know today. So the key thing to remember here is this blend of traditional plants crammed into an informal layout. And don't let words like untamed or unkept fool you. This is not about letting your garden go. It's a very carefully crafted, naturalistic look that's all about celebrating the beauty of plants just growing together in this big, happy jumble. So how do you actually get this look? Well, we can break it all down into three core pieces. The design principles that give it shape, the signature plants that give it life, and the rustic materials that tie it all together. And this is where you see how that wild look is actually created. It's all about making very specific choices. You see this focus on curving, organic shapes, and a total avoidance of stripped, straight lines. The whole idea is to let plants fill every single inch of space. Let them spill over paths, climb up fences. You're creating all these wonderful layers of texture and color. Of course, the plants are the real stars of the show here. Cottage gardens are famous for these classic, old-fashioned flowers. Just picture tall hollyhocks against an old stone wall, or climbing roses spilling over a picket fence. The big takeaway is diversity. You want a mix of perennials, annuals, maybe even some herbs and veggies thrown in to make sure there's always something blooming from spring all the way through fall. Are you picking up on a theme here? All the materials are pretty humble. They're natural, and they're meant to feel like they've been there forever. There's nothing polished or super modern. We're talking curving paths made of gravel or old brick, simple picket fences, and maybe a weathered wooden bench tucked into a corner. Everything is designed to complement the plants, not overpower them.
Now, to really get what the cottage style is all about, it really helps to look at what it's not. So let's put it head-to-head with its complete opposite, the very structured, very formal garden.
This side-by-side makes it crystal clear, doesn't it? Formal gardens use symmetry, straight lines, and perfectly clipped hedges to show human control over nature. But cottage gardens? They embrace asymmetry, curving lines, and dense, diverse plants to celebrate nature's own beautiful chaos. It's really a story of control versus collaboration. Okay, so you absolutely love the look. But what does it actually take to live with a cottage garden? Is this romantic, whimsical style the right fit for you and your home? Let's get practical. And this is the big question, right? It's not just about what looks pretty. It's about finding a style that really fits with your home's architecture, your own personality, and, this is a big one, how much time you actually want to spend working in your garden. So here's the reality check. While it looks totally effortless, that design disorder needs regular attention, especially when everything's growing like crazy. Now, the work is different from a formal garden. You're not going to be out there with shears clipping a perfect hedge. Instead, you'll be doing a lot more weeding to keep things from getting too wild, deadheading flowers to keep more coming, and staking up your taller plants so they don't fall over. It's all about guiding the chaos, not just letting it run rampant. So what this all really boils down to is that this style is perfect for someone who sees their garden as this living, breathing sanctuary. If you love a relaxed, natural vibe, if you want a space that's inviting for people and pollinators, and if your home already has that kind of rustic or country feel, then yeah, the cottage style could be a perfect match.
So to wrap it all up, the English cottage garden is really more than just a look. It's a whole philosophy. It's about creating a space that feels personal, romantic, and just bursting with life. So, whether you dive in head first or just decide to borrow a few ideas, it really makes you wonder, could your own garden use a little bit of that design disorder?